Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the second session on the payment certificates. We're going to go do payment certificate 2 following on payment certificate 1 that we've done the previous time. So what we're going to do is we're going to take payment certificate 1 and we're going to update it with payment certificate 2. The question for the second payment certificate, or the information that you will be given, is something in the line of the following. So we will have in month 2 you recorded the following progress on site, and the measuring date is the 22nd of August. You would remember the first payment certificate was the 22nd of July, so this is a month later. So the P's and G's went up to 10% from 5%, and then in section 2 bill 1 not much happened. So we measured 100% for item 11 and 100% for item 12. Then in bill 2 of section 2 we measured item number 1 100%, item 2 100%, and 5 and 6. So we're going to run through that process of how one actually does a payment certificate following on a next payment certificate. So it's still very basic, but it's for just for clarity on exactly how what processes needs to be followed. So one takes the information provided in the question, and one takes the payment certificate of the previous month, and one basically updates that payment certificate to get to the new payment certificate. So I've opened the previous payment certificate as was applied to you. So now you get to your office, you've done all the measurement work, you've recorded all of the information that we've spoken about earlier on month 2, and we've got 22nd of August. So we're going to populate our payment certificate according to this. Okay, so first things first is you record what payment certificate is, when it was measured. Okay, one can see that it's actually brought forward from the sum page, but what I usually do is I just take this one and take it forward to the other one. So I'm just going to update this to 22 August. Okay. And it was 2018. Let me just update this 2018. Okay. So here's all of our information. This will change as we go along, so you will see it's already populated, but we'll just change the context as soon as we get there. Okay, so just also remember to rename all of the sheet names and so on. This is not really applicable to you, but once you get into practice, this is the areas where little small mistakes creep in. So first things first, so this is the payment certificate page. Then one has the summary page, so you do the same on this side. So just make sure that everything refers to this payment certificate, and then it will change to August. Okay, on this side. Okay, so I'm just going to zoom in. So before you do anything or any work on your payment certificate, you should make sure that it's set up so that if you populate it, it will just automatically update the pages in front of you. Obviously you will do it manually in the exam, so it will be the same process, but we're going to run through the processes, and you will do the same. You will be provided with an updated sheet anyway. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to, first things first, remember what I discussed the previous time. Your payment certificates is always measured up to all of the work, and then you subtract the previous payment certificate from this payment certificate. So a simple thing now would be just to update your previous certificate amount. So in Excel, it's easy to just update your amount. So what you take is your previous gross valuation and you insert it to your amount paid previously. Okay, and then you will see everything changes to 0 on this side. I'm just going to make it values only, that there's no formulas or anything. So what you will do here is you will write your previous amounts in here, and then what you will see is you've got your gross valuation at this stage minus your previous previous gross amount, and thus you will have a payment certificate of 0 when you start out. Okay, so that's the basics. We're going to do the same in our bill of quantities as well. Okay, so then we get to so our summary sheet is set up, it's 0, and now we're ready to run with our actual measurement in our bills of quantities. Okay, so we go to our bills of quantities. So I've included bill number 2 in this one as well. So you would see what will happen now is you will have your payment certificates as you did it the previous time. So very simple thing that you should do now is basically populate your previous payment certificate amounts first. So your certificate or your cumulative value, you just take those amounts. Okay, and this is now, again, it won't be this easy in this payment certificate. So what you will do is you will take those items and you will put it into your previous certificate. So your previous certificate, just make it the values only. Okay, so we've only got the values. So you will see this certificate, the amounts change to 0. So what we've done is we've taken our cumulative certificate amount, we put it in our previous payment certificate amount, and the two subtracted from each other is basically 0. Well, it is 0. Okay, so sort that out. Okay, so you will see this is what our amounts adds up to. Okay, so we've paid 244,000 previously. Now we just need to add our items completed. So what we have, if we just quickly have a look at bill 1, item 11 and 12 changes to 100%. Okay, so let's search for item 11 and 12. So we've completed these two items, the excavations for these, and thus we can change it to 100%. So I'm just going to put it in here. We always just keep track of the payment certificates here in the sideline. So this will be 100%, 100%. So what you will do is you will change this percentage to 100%. Okay. Okay, so you will see that there isn't really much change that happened. It's more about the concept than really the amount. So you will see in just by completing these items, the contractor made 13 Rand on the first item, and the second item he made 58 Rand 50. Okay, so you will see it will add up then to 71 Rand for this particular bill. Obviously you did more work in bill number 2, so we're going to look at bill number 2 now for the items that was actually completed. Okay, so what you do is you go to your question, so bill number 2, section 2, bill 2, we have item 1 2, 5 and 6, which was completed during the month. So just to put in the percentages here, so we've got item 1 and 2. Just do this. Okay, then we've got that one, and then 5 and 6 we had the same progress of 100%. So I'm just putting it in here for now. Okay, so we've got items 1, 2, 5 and 6. So let's do our first one. So this is the first time that it's being measured on this side, so it's very easy to actually keep track of. So you've got your item, so you've progressed 100% with this one. So you will see what will happen now is we did a blinding for item 1, so it didn't carry a lot of weight, and we inserted that, so it's 100% for that one and 100% for this one, and you will see that this certificate amounts to 225 and 1,500, and the cumulative one is still the same because there's no previous certificate that was paid out. Then we just do the same for items 5 and 6. Okay, so you can see the strip footing amounted to quite a large amount, and then again you just add it up to the summary of the bill. Okay, you will see there's a lot of items that was included in this bill, so you can see that it adds up to 142,000 for this payment certificate. And then remember, it's the amount that you take forward to your summary sheet is the cumulative amount and not this payment certificate amount. So it's your cumulative amounts that you take forward, so it's 142,000 and 244,000, and we take it forward to our summary sheet. Okay, so you will see that it actually took it over to this side. Okay, and then these amounts we're going to run through this as well. Then the P's and G's, we shouldn't forget about that. It is always on your summary sheet. It's 10%. That's calculated on your summary sheet. So just going back here, your item. Okay, so it is 10%. Oops, just take the right amount. So this is 881,000 times 10%. So you will see payout on the P's and G's is 88,000 in total. Okay, so just to run through the columns again, material on site, there's no material on site, there's no material off site. As mentioned previously, these columns will not really apply to you. And then we've got our current valuation of 88,000, and then we subtract our 10% retention, we get to our current valuation. Contract price adjustment, again not applicable to you, that is subtracted or added depending on what the indexes says. You get to your gross valuation, and then you will see here the important section comes in. You subtract your amount previously certified, and you get to your net amount, and then you add that to that. So on this payment certificate for P's and G's, the contractor will get 45,000. Okay, now remember we've done our only small changes to our earthworks. So what will happen now is you will see it will run through, and then you subtract your amount on this side, and you will see that it's only 64 Rand and 35 cents. Just remember, this will not be the same as what you've got here on this side, because you've got a 10% retention that's subtracted on this side also. So just be aware of that it won't necessarily be the same. Okay, So that's your net amount or value. You add your VAT to that and you get your amount paid out on that item. Same happens with your concrete work, build 2 that we've done. So we've gotten to 128,000 that's being paid out to the contractor. There's 0 amount subtracted, and we get to our valuation or net amount paid out to our contractor on this payment certificate. Okay, and VAT is added to that. Okay, and then you add up these columns, or basically all of the columns you add up to the bottom. So you've got your, I'm just going to zoom out quickly. So you've got your amounts paid out to date for the contractor added up here to the bottom of this section summary. That is then added up to get your subtotal. No electrical work or anything was done during month 2, so then you just run through the same processes again. Your total amount subtracted, etc. You add VAT on to your total amount paid out, and these 2 amounts as a check should add up, and this is what I usually do here. So I just do a check whether these 2 amounts including VAT actually are the same. Okay, so that is the amounts that we've or work that we've done. So now the main important thing is to get your payment certificate. So you've got your value of work done, your value of work executed. So remember, on your payment certificate, you're going to run through all of these columns again. So what you want to do is you want to take over the amount that has, or the value of work done in total. Okay, so what you've done, or what you've got, is 475,000. So you take that forward to your payment certificate sheet. Materials on site, there's no materials on site. There's no material off-site, so your security adjustment is 10% of that amount. So you calculate that, you get to your current amount certified is 428,000 now, and then you subtract your payment or your contract price adjustment. Just zoom in here. So and that's 0. So your gross amount certified is 438,000. Okay, then you subtract your previous certificate amount. Okay, and this amount is actually not correct. So what we will do is, let me just make sure, it should be the previous payment certificate should be 259. This is actually correct. So where I got that, just as a double check, is you take your previous payment certificate. Okay, so I've opened that, so here we are, and it's actually correct. So it's 259,963 rand and 25 cents. So okay, does it allow me to, there we go, just to move it away. So you subtract that from your gross valuation to get your new payment certificate amount of 168,000, less expenses to your loss to your employer, penalties, damages that might be paid out to your contractor, and then you basically add that, add or subtract those, but it won't be applicable to you. And then you've got your subtotal here, and then you just add VAT to that to get to 193,481 rand and 20 cents. Okay, so now I've built a little check in here as well, that I usually just check whether everything corresponds. So we've got 193,000 on this side. Let's just check on this side, and the calculation says it's correct. Okay, so here we've got 193,000 as well. So yes, we can see our summary sheet and our payment certificate 2 actually amounts to the right amount. Okay, so then you just calculate your percentage complete, which is your gross valuation. Okay, I've done it before VAT, divided by your contract sum, also before VAT, and you get to the total payout percentage to your contractor. Then you add your, just remember to make your tick here in the box in the sheet that will be provided. So just make sure that you complete the payment certificate in full. You can also sign it if you want to. I'm not going to give you a mark for the signing of it. I will give you a mark for the percentage complete and also ticking the right box on your payment certificate. Okay, so that is more or less everything for payment certificate 2. I'll do a payment certificate 3 for you as well soon, and post that for you as well. Thanks everyone, keep well.